Deb Hoekstra here from Bee-Bug Creations, and I am working with the new Carols of Christmas stamp set and coordinating framelits. I can't remember what the name of those framelits are, but I'm working with those today, and this is the card I'm working on. I created these trees out of the silver glimmer paper using the 2 tree dies from the Carols of Christmas coordinating framelit set, and I am working on creating a sunset background. And I knew that when I posted this card, there might be questions about how I created my sunset background. So I decided I'm going to do a video for you and show you how I created this background here. So the first thing you need is a 5 1/4 inch by 4 inch piece of Whisper White cardstock. And then you need to cut a mat out of just an old piece of cardboard. This is just a piece of designer paper, cardboard that comes in the designer paper packs. But you need to create a mat so that you can create this white snowy area. So that's what I did here. And I'm going to just hold it. You may want to put a little bit of adhesive on the back so it holds it in place. And I'm actually going to turn it this way because it's easier for me to work this way. I'm very right-handed and I'm going to be sponging on this side. So what you do is I'm going to be using 5 different colors of ink. The first one is Blushing Bride, then I'm using Flirty Flamingo, Sweet Sugar Plum, Dapper Denim, and Night of Navy ink in that order. And that will create this rainbow effect. Remember that each card is going to turn out differently because your sponging will be different. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got my ink pad here and a sponge. And I'm going to just take, this is Blushing Bride, and I'm just going to take and I'm going to sponge right along this mask. And I'm going to go up here just a little ways, and you can see here how I'm going a little further and I'm kind of working my ink out. It's real hard to see the Blushing Bride here, but you can see it really well here. So as I went up, my ink got lighter. So now I'm going to switch to my Flirty Flamingo ink. So let me just grab my ink over here and a sponge. And now I'm going to put a layer of Flirty Flamingo here. Now what I'm going to do is I don't want to go right next to my mask here. I want to stay up just a little bit so that the Blushing Bride can be seen on top of the Flirty Flamingo. And you can see here how that's a darker color, and I'm just going to work in that ink, and I'm going to go over and over and over again. Now that I've got the ink out of my sponge, I'm going to try to pull it down into that Blushing Bride a little bit so that the colors aren't quite so drastic. And if, like, I'm not really liking how much of a difference there is there, so I'm going to come back with my Blushing Bride, and I'm just going to go kind of right over that line there and see if I can't soften it just a little bit, and I think I did. So there we go. So I'm done with the Flirty Flamingo and I'm done with the Blushing Bride. Now I'm going to pull in my Sweet Sugar Plum, and that's more of a purple color, not a pink. And again, I'm going to just go right over that Flirty Flamingo. Okay, and I'm going to smooth that in, and then I'm going to just kind of lightly go over the rest of it. Just if there's a little purple, it'll pull the purple color down a little bit. But you want to get your darker color off here before you go down here to pull in some purple. Okay? And you won't get very much purple when you pull in down there. So you can see the Blushing Bride, and then here's the Flirty Flamingo, and then it kind of blends with the Sweet Sugar Plum on up into the higher parts of your cardstock. So now I'm going to bring in my Dapper Denim ink, and this is a blue, and so this one I'm going to put more right where that Flirty Flamingo comes in, and I'm going to just kind of go over those 2 areas. And again, I'm doing the darker up here, and then I'm pulling down the blue into the pink, and you can kind of see how it's blending. And because the blue is a darker color, you're going to be able to see that better than we could the pink. And then I'm just going to very lightly go over this down here after my sponge is pretty dry, and you can see here how there's just a little bit of blue down there. And finally, sorry for the reach across the screen there, I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy ink, and that is what's going to go right up here on the top of the card. And I'm going to just kind of work that over the whole card here. And then I want to, well, it's a sunset. But see how I'm just pulling the blue down into the pink and I'm going over it? See if I can work this out just a little bit here. Okay, and there you go. You have a sunset. I'm going to go just a little bit more on the top here. It seems like there's quite a bit of white showing through. And I want the top to be fairly dark, because that's kind of the way when the sun is going down, it's darker on the top than the bottom. And then if I want to bring just a little bit more pink in here, because I think I have a little bit too much blue, I'm going to come back with my Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to very lightly go over that blue. See if I can cover it up a little bit. So there we go. There is your sunset. And then what I would do if I'll bring this card back in here, I had 2 of the double trees and then 2 of the single trees that I cut. And then I just laid them right along here. Let's pretend those are my die cuts. So I laid a couple there, and then I laid a couple more here, like so, to create my scene right here. And if you notice, these are kind of level. This is a little bit down, and then this is brought down toward the foreground a little bit, just to add a little bit of interest and depth to the card. So that's how I created the sunset. And it's not hard to do, as you can see, and each one comes out differently. Don't worry about being perfect on this one. This is kind of a technique that allows you to be very creative, and each one comes out differently. So thank you for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed learning this technique, and we'll see you again next time.